Alrighty. So, I forgot to record my pulls, which is actually a true tragedy because it was some of the greatest dopamine by accident that I've ever experienced. Haru was in call with me, and it was so exciting. For context, yesterday was my birthday. Yesterday was also the release of Skirk. And as you can imagine, when the stars align, something like clicks in game and outside of game. So, I have Skirk. Unfortunately, I don't have her at Triple Crown yet. I'm missing some books, uh, and I'm clearly missing some Mora. But, I've got Azure Light level 90. I have Skirk level 90, and I've got Skirk at C6. And I got extremely lucky in my endeavor of getting Skirk to C6. In the grand scheme of things, across about 160 pulls, I pulled 10 5-stars. 7 of those 5-stars were Skirk, and 3 of those 5-stars were not Skirk. I pulled 2 Monas, 1 Mizuki, and 7 Skirks, which means I was smashing my 50-50 in relative terms. And I got an amazing pull ratio, because I got about, on average, technically, I think I got a 5-star about, the math would say about every 55 pulls I got a 5-star, which is absolutely amazing because pity starts, soft pity starts at 74. So to get Azure Light, is it Azure Light? Yes. So to get Azure Light with actually my primos before actually pulling for Skirk, and then getting C6 within the 160 pulls. I'm not including the pulls I did on the weapon banner. I actually only did like 30, but those were my leftover primos from the last patch. But the money I spent on primos and the primos I got from Star Glitter and the like, that amounted to about 560 pulls. And funnily enough, is that's like an average of a 5-star every 56 or so pulls. My rate is actually a little bit better because as soon as I see 6th Skirk, I went over to Shenhe's banner because Shenhe is a really good unit for her, right? And I don't have her. And I pulled. I lost my 50-50 after about 30 pulls, but I got a Chi-Chi, so I got a bunch of pulls back. But basically, my average pull throughout yesterday in the 45 minutes as soon as I was able to get onto Genshin um, was in total about 58 per 5-star, which is just absolutely mind-blowing. I think the average cost of getting a C6 5-star, the estimated thing is that it should cost you about like 3-4 grand or something in that ballpark. It didn't get to even half of that, so I am, how you say, blessed and so happy and satisfied with that. It was a brilliant end to my birthday. But nobody is here to hear about me blabbing. So I don't have the new set quite the way I have this set up. So I'm currently just using a Blizzard Strayer set with fairly good stats. I'm overcritting really hard, which is unfortunate, but you know, that might be fixed when I swap back over to the set that she's supposed to be using. But she is still really strong. So, we're going to go and tear through Abyss. I actually did go through Abyss yesterday, straight through, right? However, the neat thing is, I went through Abyss, and Skirk was level 80 with a level 70 weapon, so this is still really worth my time to do, just to see the sheer difference. I'm gonna do Skirk, Escoffier, Farina, and I've actually decided instead of like Kaelan, who would give me more damage over time, I'm gonna go for Jinsho. Good stand-in, but also he gives inner rep resistance, so I don't have a shielder, so I'm really banking on Zinsho's inner rep resist to like save me from some real bad knockdowns. Right. But I was able to stream Abyss yesterday for Haru, and it was really brisk. Now granted, I also had really good modifiers. I basically got 3 bits of normal attack and charge attack damage all the way through, which in total was 60% normal and charge attack damage. So we'll see how it goes through now, though.
Suffer the wrath of Eastleigh! Wrath from the skies! Rev the engines!
Oh yeah, I forgot that. First of all. Hyper annoying.
Master? You two! Time to end that line
Kind of
of
a waste to think
Full
about.
throttle! Rev the engines!
Oh.
Wrath from the sky!
No, I didn't have any cryo on. Feels bad. Still really good damage, though. I think in hindsight, if we were being like really in hindsight, technically it would have been way better to get a C6 Malika, but yeah, it just didn't kind of line up. I'm like not like super nervy, but I'm pretty sure the C6 Malika is stronger than C6 Skirk. But you know, she's my girl, you know? Released on the same day of my birth, wow.
Let me read you a verse. Huh? The pinnacle of excellence! A dash of frost! And never
Also,
stars
she's
goes
just
out!
so cool. Like, look at this. Look at the power. This is exactly how I felt when I C6 Nino, by the way. I still feel this way sometimes when an Abyss is really good for Sino. That feeling of power is just so amazing. Such a dopamine rush. Character damage within 8 seconds, sprint 20%. I'm still like not super great at using this, because I dash around a lot and I proc it preemptively. My least favorite part of this Abyss. I'm assuming me to do against my favorite Saurian as well. Yeah, I'm a little weird like that as well, though. My favorite Saurian is the Yukasaurs.
Wrath from the skies! Try and stop me!
Though, I will admit, I have not done the last world quest because the concept of losing mobility, Lamau. Ha 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 ha. Spoiler alert if you haven't done that quest. Little buddy, my beloved, no longer being there.
Suffer the wrath of Eastleigh! Light it up! Full throttle! Pyroclastic surge!
Donuts! Oh wait, we have the same idea.
Life goes on.
Boop.
Behold!
I
Let me lead you
forgot
across.
Lamar.
My turret.
Most of this is just gonna be fighting this guy's shield, which feels kind of bad, but whatever. We need
A
to
dash
speed
of
this
frosting.
up.
A burst of flavor.
Set you free.
My turret.
There's one haha funny about this that I
A little
realized
boost.
yesterday when I was doing a bit, right? I actually thought that this was chamber 3. So I beat the seahorse, and I was just like, well, that's this. Thank you for coming. See you next time. And I sat on the continue screen. I was looking at Discord, and I looked back to it, and I was like, "Aw." We get up to a bunch of silliness when me and Haru are just sitting around in Discord being haha lama. I am taking a good old sip of tea. Haru gets to see me in
Show no mercy.
full idiocy.
Wrath from the sky. Rev the engines.
Ah, this guy went way out of there. So you know something super funny about my Abyss run yesterday as well? I was being even less careful in my Abyss run yesterday than I am being right now.
Pyroclastic surge.
And
Try and stop me.
I'll be damned. It was super useful to have Chi-Chi because she res characters 3 times. So, you know, Chi-Chi, I'll never doubt you again.
Opening box of Adepti tricks.
I actually do like Chi-Chi a lot as a healer as well. But like, once upon a time I was like, her C6 is really cool, but you know, I don't think I'll ever get a chance to use it. And lo and behold, I ended up finding not one, but 3 chances to use her C6 yesterday. Because I just sort of base tanked everything with damage. And then I was like, oh no, my character's down. And then bursted with Chi-Chi. What I also learned yesterday is that Chi-Chi's timer on her C6 passive, it's not factored into Abyss. So you can truly, if you want, down each of your characters and then just burst with Chi-Chi in every single chamber.
Rain outlines your fate. Huh? Showing you the deuce on the loose.
Oh darn, I kinda wish that I used Escoffier's burst after I bursted the arena. I think I lost out on a huge amount of buffing there. Bam, and it's over just like that. She's so strong, and I think like I said, I've overcapped on the crit, so everything is just slamming in. Oh, that 220% crit damage.
The Abyss is like the world's shadow. It's always there, and it will never perish.
As well as the percentage buffs from Arena and the absolutely ridiculous res shred from Escoffier. It is wild and wild and wild. And funny enough, I was actually watching the I Win to Lose guide about it because I enjoy getting perspectives on characters, despite almost never following builds. Yeah, despite almost never following builds, I enjoy watching guide videos, not to mimic results, but to get like a good sense of the mathing of what you should be going for. Because I think I mentioned it before a few times. I think the mathing is more important than some of the stuff. Like, not sacrificing stats for the most appropriate, what's the word? Artifact set. For example, if you're dropping like 40% crit damage or 40% crit rate to switch to a different artifact set that you basically have 100% crit on a main DPS that likes to crit, it's, you know, it's a tough sell. It's a tough sell. I also finished Skirk's quest this morning, and originally I wasn't waifu hunting because, surprisingly in Genshin, ever since I started playing the game, which was in its second week of its release, I've never actually character hunted for personality and the like, right? I always pull the characters because they look cool, right? Which is, you know, it's what you're supposed to actually do in gachas to have a good time. I didn't look for, you know, waifuing out or husbandos. I just pulled people because they are fun to play. But I did do Skirk's character quest, and I think like Sino's character quest, it's perfect. Just 10 out of 10 story, 10 out of 10 gameplay. Just giving you like the full depth and scope of this character as a, you know, personality. Voice acting on point. Paimon's new VA, way good. Did a really good job. Skirk's VA did an amazing job. And the quest itself was so much of a lore drop. It was so interesting. Like, typically in Genshin, I tend to hit auto and I don't read unvoiced dialogue. I play it kind of like Final Fantasy XIV, right? Where if it's not like pressing, I won't read. I won't read the unvoiced dialogue. I will just sort of let it pass by because I'm just like, you know, if it was that important, it would be voiced. Most of the quest was voiced, actually. Like, a significant portion of the important lore drops actually were voiced. Like, I don't want it to be misconstrued that the quest was excuse me, mostly unvoiced. It was mostly voiced, but there were points of the quest that were important, couldn't be voiced, like notes and stuff. Well, let me think about that. I kind of know right now. Also, to keep in line with his master, Skirk is ballin'. I don't know if it's still in my inventory, but she hands us a pouch of Mora. Let me check. Slightly squashed package. Child intuces Mora's pouch. Darn, where is it? This is what we get. I don't want to read it right now, but I thought we still had it. Never mind. I thought it was in my inventory still, but what's the word? Skirk gives us a pouch of Mora, and Paimon comments that she's loaded as well. It makes more sense for her because she actually she tells us that she actually has so much Mora from fighting monsters and turning in the quests and getting the gold for it. I'm sorry, my tea, it's delicious. It's also like killing me because it's really hot outside, but I wanted to air out my room, so I opened my door. So I'm getting heat blasted at me, and at first I was okay, But now I'm just drenching myself in sweat because I'm drinking hot tea and raising my internal body temperature. I'm very smart. I mention Haru all the time. I do very intelligent things all the time. Me. I'm the smartest, Lama.
A little. Allow me.
Dodge. She's so cool. I will probably be playing her a little bit more than Sino, and that's not to say that I don't consider myself a Sino main anymore. I love Sino.
Off to the creek.
He is definitely my favorite character. He is fars and light years above most characters in this game in terms of personality, voice acting, and writing. Like, Sino forever, Sino heart. If I could somehow make Skirk work on a team with Sino, you bet I would, but some things just aren't meant to be. Unfortunate but true. It's so unfortunate but true. But I'll still probably be using Dino for most of my general gameplay, but I want to squeeze out the time to play with Skirk. For the general reasoning of I have a little pseudo creed, right? Basically for games, I try to get at least an hour per dollar that I invest into a game of enjoyment. So I need to clock in about another, let's say, subtracting from the amount of hours I played yesterday and played this morning, while strolling through some work stuff. I need to play another 992 hours. And do you know what's the worst part about that? Is I can see myself easily doing that in like the next month. I have so much catching up to do. I have so much in the world to finish. I haven't finished Sumeru statue. I haven't finished Fontaine statue. I'm not up to date with Natlan statue. I'm still behind on the Natlan World Quest. And I haven't done the 5.7 World Quest. Mostly because it scares me. I'm gonna be perfectly upfront with that. Every time Dane comes around, something horrible happens and I fear for the lives of everybody. Terrible, horrible things happen. But I'm going to stop padding for now, because I'm gonna be probably doing a ton of Genshin content throughout the week. And onward into the future, with my expressively renewed interest. Look at her. She's amazing.
Where
Look
do we
at this.
come from?
This is my second favorite thing in Genshin, in fact. Yeah. I mean, she's also right next to Sino's team. I do also want to, like, figure out a few things. I want to get Shenhe, and I don't want to run her with Farina. For the main reason I try to run unique teams as much as possible in Genshin. Basically, I don't like having overlapping units. Like, if possible, you know, I want everybody to have their own unique team. It's really easy for Zhao as my previous main. It's really easy to make this team because these units don't really overlap with anyone. But then, like, you flip over to Sino. My team uses Baiju, Farina, and the Raidane, and all of these units can be elsewhere used. So, you know, big half and halves. Actually, one of the places I use it for Clorand, which I'm actually sad that Clorand didn't come out on my birthday, because it would have been really, really amazing to have a C6 Clorand. I actually do have her C1 though. When she came by again, I did manage to get her C1. but I kind of wish that I was able to do at the same time get her to C6, so maybe one day in the future, when she rolls back around, I'll give it a try. Oh yes, one key difference, kind of that shows you that they're not really on the same level yet. She is my second favorite character. I don't have Refinement 5, Skirk. I only have Refinement 1, whereas Sino is rocking C6 and Refinement 5. Now, I kind of almost mentioned it earlier that I
can swing the results
spent much less than I expected on Skirk. So, I might go for R5. There's a possibility. It is not distinct, but we'll see in the future, right? She's C6 on day 1, so I have the literal other 20 days to farm primos to get refinements on her weapon. So, actually, I do, but I don't. I want to push for Shenhe first, so I can put Shenhe in this team and run, like, maybe Skirk is Coffee, Shenhe, and Kokomi. But, you know, there's a lot of stuff. I also do want to try, like, niche Skirk teams. I know Skirk is not supposed to work outside of Hydro Cryo, but I feel like it is the due diligence of somebody that has such an investment in a character to do more than is intended with them. Just like how when Sino first came out, even though it wasn't a good playstyle, I tried out Overload Sino, and it got way better with Cheverus when she released, and I think it's really, really good, that playstyle, actually. I don't think it's as good as the Thunder and Fury, like, Quick Bloom team. I'm not, like, a mather. I should say I'm not a serious mather. I'm not gonna math out, like, what is the best possible DPS. People have already done, actually. Like, I Win to Lose, he has a lot of numbers. That I promptly ignore sometimes because they don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, not to dismay the work that the Matters of Genshin Impact do, right? But in technicality, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Unless you're going for, like, hardcore some or other stuffiest. But, that'll probably be it for today. I still need to find the permanent combat event, the Stygian Onslaught, which I think is going to be just more primos and more rewards in the future. Apparently, also that permanent event has weapon skins in it, which I think is really cool. But I have to find it and see. So there's going to be a lot of Genshin Impact videos, and tomorrow probably going to be a much shorter one than today for tomorrow's video. But it will be a Genshin Impact video, probably. And hopefully after that, more long-form videos of Genshin. But that'll be it for me for today. And I will see you next time. Ciao.